Hello, happy Wednesday. Welcome back to the Sub Club here on the Sports Money Network. First time in the Sub Club for a while. Taking a little break with the international break. Really excited to be back. It was kind of the perfect time for me to rest up, and we're going to see a lot of these players come in rested up, some of them anyway. Of course, those traveling to South America and the Far East and what have you, they might be a little bit drained, something to keep in mind. Sometimes the return of these return after international break can be a little funky. No English Premier League this weekend, unfortunately. We do have a great slate for the midweek of next week where Prem is concerned, but I'm going to travel to France, Ligue 1. I don't think we've ever done a real deep breakdown of any of these Ligue 1 games, but this is one that I'm pretty bullish to get involved in, and a good way to start out the weekend. So this is match day 27 in France here. Perfect conditions for soccer, it looks like. It'll be a early evening game, 60 degrees and sunshine. They're at the Stade de la Mino in Strasbourg. They're hosting Lyon. Big game for both these teams. Strasbourg, 7th place. They're 1 point separating them and Lille. Big deal here for Strasbourg because you get in that 6th place, you got a chance at Europa Conference League. Big deal for the club, brings in a lot of money, and big deal for Lyon in the meantime, who sit in 5th place, 2 points back from Nice. They get into that 4th place, and they've got a chance at Champions League and a boatload of money. So you can see the records of these two teams at the bottom, really neck and neck. And both teams coming in very good form here. Strasbourg, they lost their first match in February, and they have since gone on a 6-match unbeaten streak in the league. Just one draw during that span. Lyon, in the meantime, 5-2 since the beginning of February. However, those 2 losses come to 2nd place Marseille and 1st place Paris Saint-Germain. So, really impressive run both of these teams have been on. However, I think you start digging in here, and I think Lyon's actually been the more impressive during that span. I mentioned, their 2 losses coming to 2 giants here. Strasbourg in the meantime, they haven't faced a single team above them in the table during this undefeated run. 5 out of the 6 teams were in the bottom half of the table. So they've had an extremely soft schedule. And for the most part, they've been getting it done with their defense. They're winning a lot of games 1-0. They drew a game 0-0. And looking at the underlying numbers, it kind of confirms a lot of what I see on the eye test when I look at these two teams. Strasbourg, just less impressive. I don't know, speaking of the eye test, I don't know what they're up to in their buildup a lot of the time. It seems that they just try to hold on to the ball until they see something. And a lot of times there's nothing that ever really comes. They don't play in a lot of crosses. The disparity between Strasbourg and Lyon with regards to crosses is vast. And while they've kept a lot of clean sheets lately, their defensive numbers are, in fact, no better than Lyon's. Lyon's are actually quite a bit better. Both teams have allowed 33 goals in the league, but when you look at the expected goals allowed, Lyon has much better numbers. Strasbourg's disparity between goals allowed and expected goals allowed is greater than 10. So Lyon, the far better offensive team, they've been lighting things up. And defensively, they look similar on paper if you're just reading the results list, but you start to dig in, and it seems to me that Lyon is clearly the side here. Now, where totals are concerned, I rather like the over. It's set at a 2.75 or a 3, depending on your book. I think the over that I would lean with, though, is probably a second half over, because I think that, given their positions in the table, given how meaningful this game is, we might see a cagey beginning. So I'd rather take a in-game over or just bet a second half over pre-flop. A couple things about Lyon that I have to mention here. We've got to spotlight some of their attackers because these guys have been on absolute fire. Firstly, Georges Mikautadze, this guy, goal involvement in 6 of his last 9 for Lyon, and he didn't even start all those. I think he had 6 starts throughout those 9. He's often rotated back and forth with Lacazette, who is a French international, but he usually just plays for the under-23 team. Now, Mikautadze, going into the international break, just caught absolute fire. He had 3 assists and 3 goals in his final 2 games for Lyon. And then he's been bouncing around Europe. He's the star striker for Georgia. So in those 2 international games, he manages another 4 goals and an assist. Very, very positive developments for a striker that's averaging a healthy 0.61 expected goals per game. All this said, I'm going to look towards his to score or an assist if he starts, but with all that extra work that he's been doing during the international break, I wonder if they don't sit him for the first half. He's one to consider. The one that I will bet here, though, Rayan Cherki, this young 21-year-old has been even more productive, believe it or not, than Mikautadze over the last couple of months. You go back to the beginning of February, he's had 9 appearances. He's got a goal involvement in 8 of those 9. Just a crazy, crazy rate. You can find his to score assist at a very good number, but what I want to target is the assist here. He's had an assist or more in 6 of the last 9 games. Books were starting to catch on to it before the international break, but coming back from it, you've got books like FanDuel that are hanging a plus 350, an absurd number for a kid that has been as productive as he is. He's got 2 or more assists in 4 of those 9 games. Obviously, give me a little assist ladder here. You can find 2+ assists at 22-1 for a player that's hitting that over 40% of the time in his last 2 months. Can't pass that up. So to review here, I'm going to back Lyon on the side. Lyon draw no bet minus 120, and give me that Cherki assist plus 350 and the 2+ assist at the big plus number. Got to back Lyon here, man. It's going to be a fun way to start out the weekend in France. In the meantime, hit that like and subscribe. We'll have some more soccer content for you throughout this weekend. And can't wait to see you guys soon.